Says I'm live. All right. Got the live button. This is Randy Curvin in Kirksville, Missouri. And this is Rant and Randy's Rant. For a Wednesday, baby, halfway through it, getting toward the weekend. And I blame everything on Donnie talking to Russia about getting dirt on Biden. Let me talk about that for a second. Number one, hello, Nancy. Number one, Hunter Biden was a part of the law firm, but he did not own the law firm. He did not get $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow. Let me make that clear. So there is no dirt for him to find on Hunter Biden in the first place. All right, I wanted to get past that first. And let's start out with reporting of mine from yesterday with the Trump Georgia rally in Commerce, Georgia. Commerce, Georgia is about 30,000 people. Let me get that straight first. Damage control from his smallest rally ever was approximately 5,000 people spread out to look like more. Donnie's Spin Master is claiming that there was 25,000 to 30,000 people at the rally. That doesn't make sense. Everybody in town showed up. Give me a fucking break. And this is from reporters on the scene at the time that tickets were still available when the rally started. As always, with Donnie, it's about crowd size. You know, he's got the biggest crowds. All right, that's what we do as Blue Dots. Grace is in there getting our dinner ready, and she will get a home. My brother Michael, and I was just kind of hitting the high and low spots. The biggest thing about the Oscars was, and I'll jump down to that. I've got a few other things. My head is not really in it since I can't get to Facebook right now. And that situation is not looking good. All right. It tells me I'm live here. All right. I was kind of hoping I was live here. No, we'll hit this first. Yesterday, President Joe Biden signed in an historic law, was signed in, I believe it was the Rose Garden, the Emmett Till anti-lynching law. It has been long overdue. And the only no vote, so we get this, Representatives Massey, Clyde of Georgia, and Roy, I believe, is from Texas. And there are 3 states, and I'm going to look it up, that have no law. But I can tell you 2 of them right now. One is Wyoming, no hate law, crimes, no laws on the books. And South Carolina is one other state, and I can guarantee you they're a red ass state too. Briefly on the 3 Oscars on Coda at the awards, and everybody already knows that Chris Rock has been apologized publicly by Will Smith. Will Smith, that was totally unnecessary to go up there and let your anger just go wild and out of control. But on Coda, they got 3 Oscars. And I was watching that from the PBS News Hour. All right. And I just wanted to say about that. I've worked with people with from the deaf community when my career with the state of Georgia. I also grew up at a time when they were known as deaf and dumb. And even back when I was a child, I didn't understand why deaf and dumb. Those that I saw ordering at a restaurant that my grandmother, me, and my brother Greg would go to, even as a child, I didn't understand why they were considered dumb. But they had the little cards and they had American Sign on the back side of the card. Uh, and what confused me as a child is when they ordered at a restaurant, they wrote down the order and handed it to them. So even then, brothers and sisters, even as a child, I had questions about why they were having to carry cards that said they were deaf and dumb with American Sign on the back side of the card. And in fact, one of the waiters, I asked him for that card when the gentleman left with his food. Uh, and and I said, well, right here, they're just, they're showing people how they can communicate. All right. I mostly covered that. And the big question is 7 to almost 8 hour gap in the White House phone law. Uh, we know that there were conversations with Lee, McCarthy, Jordan, but logs uh, show none of it. And it is being thought upon questioning, Donnie doesn't know anything about burner phones. Yeah, yeah. Uh, Give me a fucking break. He doesn't know about burner phones. I thought he was supposed to be the smartest person in the world, Republicans. Damn. I mean, you can't make this shit up. That's laughable that he even would say anything. And hopefully tomorrow, uh, these type of questions are going to be asked to Jared Kushner. In my opinion, he will be a smartass. He will not be informative about January 6th. After all, he is an oligarch connected to Donald's family. And why the silence from John Roberts on Clarence Thomas? And then, in fact, why is there total silence from all of the Supreme Court on the conflict of interest with Clarence Thomas' wife, Jenny Thomas? Doesn't make any sense to me, but they need to speak up. Otherwise, are we seeing a court that's just going to ignore that and let him be a part of Donnie suing the January 6th committee? That shit better not be happening. Yesterday, in the peace talks with Russia, they promised through Lavrov, the liar for Putin, that they would back off on the attack of Kiev, and yet more explosions were heard that evening. Uh, this is a stalling tactic for repositioning their troops. They hadn't been successful there, so they're going to back off and try a different approach. And that was just a stalling tactic from Foreign Minister Lavrov. All right, that's about all I got. Hello, Martha Smart. All right, glad to see you here. Hello, George. Nancy was the first in. Michael is right behind, and you're doing what we always do. Uh, Next, I wanted to, before I let y'all go, The situation with locked out of Facebook is even getting worse as far as I'm not able to unlock it. And I believe what's happened, let me just put it this way, be very careful on personal messenger. Anybody you do not know, do not communicate with them. Number two, any friend request, if even if it doesn't say that, the best advice I can give you on that, if you don't have 14 or 15 mutual friends, and check with them to make sure that person is for real. Because this whole thing started with somebody hacked a friend of mine's account and it went from there. So right now I'm locked out. I'm looking, my daughter and I are trying to figure out, I can't even get anywhere to start another account. And then to top that off, I had uh, gone back to an old email account, put in the right password, gained access, and now I can't get in that account. So I really don't know what's going on. Uh, my good brothers and sisters that are out here, y'all are sharing what I've got. Just hang on. I'm doing the best I can do. And I guarantee you, one way or another, even if it hits in the pocketbook, I will be back. And you can count on that. Uh, I've gotten through this many years doing this, and I am going nowhere. Uh, I don't think so much that it was somebody, uh, and it could have been. It could have been somebody that I blocked, uh, hacked somebody else's account. Is two strange things in that, and it both came out of Mississippi. And I'm wondering if one knew the other, and one of them hacked the other's account to get at me, because I don't think that, if you think back, remember there was somebody that was referring to my dad doing it with his sister, and that made me. That's who I'm suspicious that got this whole thing started. All right, I will let you go. I'm glad to hear that, George. That is going to give me, when I can get things back, I'm going to be very hesitant and know for sure that I know that person. And I've got brothers and sisters that I know it's them. I know their uh, avatar and all that. And I would know just from asking them a few questions if they're the real one, because it's actually gotten that dangerous now. Oh, and I do appreciate everybody and how good you've all been in this, but I'll get through this. Maybe my daughter and I can figure out something, because the way they've got it blocked, I can't go anywhere else. It leads right back. Your account has been blocked. And I thought calling on the phone, that was the last thing I should have done, because again, what they're doing is hooking me up with a company that has nothing to do with Facebook, but they can block you. That's the new method. They don't lock down your screen, they now lock down your account to where you can't get in. And so I've got a lot to consider, but I guarantee you I'm going to overcome this. I've overcome years of fighting against these bad companies and the bad people that, wow. Yep, that's right, Martha. There is YouTube, and YouTube, uh, I wish that more people would see things on YouTube by John Britovo and I, and even Leo Shahaki on our YouTube shows. Uh, it's slow going for me on this. I dropped back to 262 subscribers. I usually feel like I'm not somebody's cup of tea. If they dropped it, we were at 263 and now it's 262. Personally, I don't care. I just wish that this would get out there more. It's successful when it gets out there, particularly since I had been putting the URL. I can't do that anymore because that's under my share thing and I can't share it anyway. If I had to, I'm going to look into some of the other places I can share it to. But Twitter won't take me because I don't have a mobile phone. That was their thoughts on when I first got with them and did a couple of rants. Then suddenly they needed a cell phone that I don't have. So they kicked me out and they wouldn't let me back on because I didn't have a cell phone for them to confirm. Yeah, and that is horrible. That's what I'm worried about, Michael. When I can get back on, uh, it's going to depend. If I go through that company, there's things I can do to them that I can't talk about on here, but that would get me back on. It's just I can't afford it. Uh, and right now, again, like I said on Discord last night on the family meeting, uh, Facebook Pay uh, cannot be used simply because, out of a precaution, we had it on my wife's card. We destroyed the card because we didn't want anybody that might give money or donate money to me to get their money caught up in cyberspace because the card doesn't exist anymore. And mine's not on there because I hadn't switched it over because mine was new because of that $109 McAfee incident where they tried in Texas and California within 5 minutes to take $104.99. All right, I will let you go. That is a good idea, Martha, and I'm going to have to reconsider how I use Messenger. All of us need to. There's too many problems uh, about knowing exactly who that is that you're talking to because their account can look just like it's legitimate. That's why it fooled me. All right, have a good one. I will be down in the after comments. I can't go to Facebook to look at anything, but I do appreciate each and every one of you being here. The crowds are getting bigger. The word is getting out of where to find me. Hello, Mary of West Virginia. How you doing? All right. Like I said, I'm fighting to get it back, and I will get it back in the end. It got to be some way. I'm not giving up. I am not retreating. I want the truth out, and that's the part of it. Some of these companies that rip you off, and Google needs to start controlling some of these phone numbers that are supposedly Facebook. That wasn't Facebook, but it had it listed as being Facebook. All right, have a good one. Peace, resist, persist, and I insist. Keep pushing the truth. Truth matters, and lies and democracy are not a fit. Uh, Lies are autocracy. Democracy you tell the truth. And unfortunately, what GOP wants right now is another form of autocracy. It's the kind of thing that Putin did when he got started. First thing you know, elections, anybody running against the candidate will be jailed. All right. Keep that in mind. Go down, like, share, and help me. And if you're new out here, you like this show, go down and subscribe and join this Blue Dot family. We are going to make a difference in 22 and 24. Have a good evening. Share this shit. I'll see you in the comments later on. Please share this shit.